What's up? Welcome to Pandora's Box. Sorry we took a week off last week, but we're back with a double-sized episode for everyone tonight. And let's bring on my co-host already, Mr. Mikey Sutton. What's up, Mikey?
Jeff Johns joins DC Studios. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong show.
No!
The Pandora Box. Hello, Cincinnati.
Oh, no.
It's what happens when you do too many YouTube shows.
I was like, what?
Welcome to Pandora's Box,
That's hilarious.
where the past won't hurt you. Crazy.
I was gonna ask you, hey, Mike, what are the chances we'll see those actors in the Snyderverse, ever appearing again? And then you just drop that bomb
and wrong show.
It is a killer Nickelbore shirt.
That is a great shirt. That's a great shirt.
It's very fucking cool. Yeah, you know it.
We're gonna bring you the balls that DC Studios can't.
Yes. So I wanted to show everybody something here real quick. Let me find it for you guys. The good Austin made a new Pandora's Box logo, Mikey.
Awesome.
Let's check it out, man. Let's show it to Austin is very talented.
Oh, love it.
Look at that. So you got me, Lord Necron. If you don't know, that's me. You got Mikey Sutton. But what? We got Retro Nerd Girl on there too, dude.
She's officially a part of us now.
We might as well bring her on stream.
One of us.
One of us.
Thank you.
It's like an 80s horror film, right? There's always one pretty girl in the film, right? So
oh boy, am I the one that yells, that screams?
She's a screamer,
Right, she's here for the horrors. We're gonna put everybody through.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's Necron and Mikey and Retro now.
Hi, Sin Havoc.
Look, Retro.
Oh, Grogu. Yes. Mwah. Great to see you here. Oh.
We are now trio.
And I also saw Keithy in the chat. Hey, Keithy.
Yeah, let's go through the chat real quick. Who we got? We got Socks is here. What's up, Socks?
Hello, Socks.
Keith, there's your boy Keith.
Yeah.
And
yep, I got my plugs in.
That's my record label guy, Goat Throne Records.
Oh, awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Cosmos.
Metal, Leather, and Loudness. Another local guy, Ruben, who's a metalhead, tapes a lot of my band shows and almost every show in Texas. So
oh wow,
that's awesome.
And
I love how he crossed over into the middle crowd.
It's crazy, right?
Yes.
DJ Hellhammer 666. What's up, bro? So, hey guys. So, the first thing let's talk about because Sam Raimi, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I know you two as well. Let's go over some of our favorite Sam Raimi films.
Well, I think you guys know what my 3 are probably going to be like favorites out of them all.
Yeah,
the Evil Dead trilogy.
I'll just yeah,
there you go.
Still
when
a
was
star.
the first time? When was the first time you saw Evil Dead, Necron?
Oh, hi,
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, when was the first time you saw Evil Dead?
Well, it's funny you ask because the second part of our show is about drive-ins, and I actually saw. First time I saw Evil Dead was at a drive-in.
Nice.
With a double feature with The Hills Have Eyes. So I got double rammied, I guess. That sounds terrible. I didn't even mean to make that up. That's great. Got double rammied at the drive-in that night. But I mean, I was a kid. I was telling Retro earlier that my brother and his friends, my brother's a little older than me. Well, he was like an older teenager at the time, right? I was still like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to pile in and go see these double features. And there's always like horror movie double features at the drive-in. So one of them was The Evil Dead. And that just blew us away. We couldn't get over how awesome the movie was.
Oh, it was. Yeah, totally.
We were just like, I mean, me and my brother and his friends, we just kept talking about it even afterwards. On the way home, it's like this was great, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I remember Stephen King was praising the film. I remember his quote, and get all the horror fans excited because Stephen King just went ape shit over this movie because he saw a screening of it. Um, I never heard of it, and all of a sudden Fangoria started doing articles on it and everything. Like, oh wow, I gotta go see this. I think of Stephen King's quote right on the poster.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah,
right there. Well, you can't see my mouse, but yeah, they did, and like back then, if Stephen King gave the horror movie the seal of approval, well, damn, you were getting good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good exposure. That was like the seal. That was this perfect. Stephen King loved it. But too, I mean, just look at the the creature effects, or I don't even know. No, what were they? Deadites, right? That's what they're called. That's the proper name. The Deadites, the possessed people that become the evil dead. I mean, this was great, man.
And the thing with Evil Dead, I think Siskel and Ebert called it Dog of the Week that time. This film was not liked by critics very much. It's a pure horror film.
There's
gory as hell.
Super gory.
According to Sam, he said that it was having a hard time in the beginning until Stephen King made his quote. That helped really boost that movie and gave them just the right amount of clout to do Evil Dead 2. So without that quote, we wouldn't get any more Evil Dead movies, pretty much.
Wow, that's some powerful stuff. I had no idea.
It kind of goes along with what I said earlier. If you got the Stephen King seal of approval, that really helped you in a horror movie back then. But damn, I know it helped you that much.
And I don't think Stephen King was raving about any horror film before Evil Dead. That was the first time I remember. That's what it got my interest. Like, Stephen King. I was a big Stephen King fan when he came out.
I mean, he didn't even like his own movie.
I know, like The Shining. Well, left me kind of cold, But,
so that was a great. That was a good push for the movie.
And two, the tone of the first one is just like it's pretty grim. It's not funny or trying to be funny. It's a straight up horror movie.
It's high energy too. That film moves.
It's a fast pace.
Very fast paced. And
now I'm gonna admit something to you guys.
Yeah,
I didn't see this one. I didn't see Evil Dead 1 and 2, but I did see the last one.
Army of Darkness.
You gotta go see it.
I know. I have a thing about zombies. They freak me out.
Well, this one really freaked you out about
these images are pretty racy for me.
Especially the one in the cabin. That was really freaky.
They're
when she's letting me. I know.
That was freaky, man.
That she's locked down in the bottom of the cellar. Remember?
That was one that bothered me, and that would really gruesome. That would bother Red. Watch it alone at night. That would.
But then the whole like don't go out into the woods either, man.
Oh yeah.
Now he did say that the shooting this film was very difficult because they were out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
was it out in Michigan somewhere? Out in the woods in Michigan, I thought.
And it was really cold. He said it was really cold, and everywhere around them was just muddy, marshy lands. There were, I believe, alligators. So there must have been somewhere where there were alligators. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, it wasn't Michigan.
Well, this movie also has that sense of claustrophobia we talked about in The Thing, as well as being stuck somewhere. It has that same kind of urgency as well. I missed this in the theater, Necron. I don't think it was shown in my area. If it was, I don't recall. I didn't see it until I went to the Philippines. I saw it on Betamax tape in '84.
Oh, wow.
When did the film come out? Was it 82 it came out?
81.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Holy
81.
shit, it took me 3 years to see this thing? Wow. Oh my god, I had no idea. But it wasn't on cable that I recall.
Yeah, I
Um,
never
I-
saw it on cable.
yeah, so 84, that was one of the first movies I rented in the Philippines. But that tree scene, holy shit, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a.
It's intense.
I
Um,
mean that type. I don't even know if they would make a scene like that in a movie
no, they would
nowadays.
not.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
that
no.
would become.
No,
Yeah,
they'll get canceled by now, you know?
yeah. I don't even know, Rich. No. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll just look that up or if you want. But yeah, that would not be in a
It
film
would
today.
not happen today. That
Mm-mm.
was really freaky at the time.
It was intense. I was like a kid going, "Holy dang, that's brutal! It was brutal,
Yeah,
man."
yeah, I do remember seeing this on a Betamax double bill.
Oh,
With
really?
yeah, Betamax double bill. Ironically, with a Stephen King adaptation that I don't think he liked either. That was Children of the Corn.
Oh yeah, he hated that
He hated
Yeah,
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
saw
I
it.
can't blame him on that.
I remember the Sunday afternoon. We skipped church. Instead, we went to went to in-laws' house, and they had a Betamax tape, and we rented Evil Dead and Children of the Corn. Saw them the same day, and needless to say, I barely remember Children of the Corn, but I'll never forget Evil Dead.
Oh really?
Yeah, Evil Dead, man, leaves a mark. I'll never forget it.
Well, yeah. I
I
mean,
swear too, like Evil Dead 2 is the inspiration for an every death metal album intro. With
I
the
can see
doors
that. I can
bust,
see that. Yeah.
you know, like oh
Yeah.
god, everybody.
yeah.
Daybreakers. Have I seen that one? That sounds familiar.
That sounds very familiar. I'm not sure if I've seen that one.
Yeah, I'll have to double
Yeah.
check. I
Um,
Yeah,
remember good old
go
Betamax.
Betamax.
Yeah, yeah, man,
Oh my god.
Betamax.
And
But yeah, I
those
mean,
fun times.
just some of the way the innovative ways that he shot the film with
Yeah.
the camera work, and like the point of view of the flying spirit or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
for a low budget movie, he really pulled it out, man. Like, damn, that's a great movie on a low budget, and just innovated and how he went about it too to make it not even look like you're watching this low budget movie. Yeah, I know today the standards, people would see some of the effects and probably laugh because yeah, it's 1980 or probably 79, 80 when they were shooting that thing. So
Yeah. It was very imaginative though the way he used
how they tried to pull it off.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the camera work I think just blows everybody away. I mean, just hyper speed camera work. For zooming in, like literally running into an object.
And Bruce Campbell's acting, his
Oh,
just
he was
over the
great.
top performance of
Oh, yeah.
he had to sell it as Ash, man.
So
No,
young too, man. He was a kid back in that film.
Right.
I think they were both like 20, 21.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were really, really super young
Young guys.
doing it. One thing though, yeah, that shooting all that stuff was really difficult. At one point, he was upside down shooting with the camera, shooting Bruce Campbell to get like certain swoops and things. For those unique images that we see. And I've seen quite a bit of the movie, not the whole thing. I've just seen a lot of shots, and they are all freaky. And they definitely all have his signature zoom ins and flashy cinematography. And it's just wonderful that he's just got a great sense of style for everything. So.
Is Daybreakers the one with? Is that the one with? He's a priest and he's fighting vampires. Is that the movie? Am I on the right track? Because I think I've seen it once.
No, I think is that. I think Daybreakers is the one where they have like a serum and they're like fighting to get a hold of this special serum, and like there's like this freaky scene at the very end of the movie with Ethan. This one is with Ethan Hawke. The entire planet is a planet of everybody's vampires, and there's maybe a few humans left. Okay. And then there may be a cure that people will turn into humans one day, and so
they take this formula. Sox brings up a good point, though. Sam Raimi
Yeah.
makes sure his 1978 Oldsmobile cars in all his movies.
Yes.
Wow, that is true. Within the Woods.
Yeah, that's a movie he did before doing 81. Let me see. When it was, I think it's
Oh wow, I
77.
never even saw this one.
78 it was. I have some notes and stuff here that I have.
Yeah, I did not see Within the Woods.
I never
Yeah.
saw that one. Never even heard of it.
It's
Wow.
really like low tech. I mean, this was before they had enough money to really do a big feature. So and
Okay,
before that he did
it's a
another one.
short.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did another one called It's Murder. That's also like what he says that in his earlier life, they basically just made short movies, short films all the time in order to practice and see what and how films look like and how
Ah,
to
yeah.
how to perfect it. And at first, I think it began with a group of kids from high school. There were about 6 of them that all, played with making films of their own. And Bruce Campbell was amongst those. And then they continued to just keep doing that stuff. And like by the time he's like 20, he makes this incredible film. So it took some time to get there, but it was through making small films that he was able to do this,
He
and
was
he
like
did.
learning his own ropes basically with
Hmm.
these shorts.
And
Yeah.
analyzing, and a lot of the goofy humor that we see in his films are really inspired by the Three Stooges, and he loves them so much.
I can see
I
that.
can
I can
totally see
totally
that.
see
That
that.
He
Wow.
slapstick.
loves, like
Yeah.
if you go on IMDb, you will see all the zombies are named Fake Shemp, which
The
which
Three Stooges.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
which coincides with the theory that at some point during Shemp, I forgot his last name, it starts with a H, that was one of the Stooges. He got replaced by a fake guy pretending to be him. And so that's a theory out there. So it's kind of interesting that he kind of used that as his as the zombies listing. So
So
All right. So
my choice,
okay, what is your
just to
choice?
jump off the Evil Dead for a minute here,
Sure.
is a film that proved to be quite influential, even till now. It's called Darkman.
yes.
Um, I
Oh yeah,
love
that's on the list,
I
man.
love
Yes,
Darkman,
that's
and
one of my
Darkman's
favorites.
awesome.
That's one of my favorites.
just an original IP too that was not based on anything.
Yeah.
It's just Sam Raimi's obsession with comic books.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Um,
this is a Sam Raimi superhero.
Yeah.
yeah, and he looked cool. Had one of the greatest marketing campaigns ever. Who is Darkman?
Yes.
Like you wanted to know, right? Who the hell is
Yeah,
Darkman?
because like this was like maybe like right after Batman
It was, yeah.
It was, yeah.
89. Like there wasn't a lot of competition for him, so Darkman.
No. This
I
is
like
Mhm.
how he
listen.
could do all the disguises too, and it still had that.
Yes, love that.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
was.
Sam Raimi just has this weird way of building like a weird type of tension, like when things are going wrong, and the character's trying to like. There's a lot of that in Darkman, where
Yeah.
he's like struggling or something, or
Oh, it's
his
beautiful.
his effects are getting ready to wear off, and he's trying to get the hell out of there. Or I love it, man. The Sam Raimi is the master like those type of scenes. But check them out, man. That's how Darkman look.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that Darkman is one of my favorite movies from him, and just the character development of Darkman himself was just brilliant. Where you have this character that is just struggling like you said, at every single point,
Yeah,
and like he barely gets a win. But it reminds me of Christine quite a bit because we have this
Oh, yeah.
situation, yeah, where he gets his revenge on all of the bad guys one by one. So
yeah,
it is a revenge story, but also like realizing that he can't even pretend anymore to be a normal person. He's got to give up the love of his life. That's so
yeah. He finally
heartbreaking.
has to decide he's Darkman full time, and
Yeah.
his whole life is history.
Yeah, it
But
was
it's kind of sad
heartbreaking.
too,
Yeah.
that he has to do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, if y'all haven't seen Dark Man, check it out. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and
Good
I just
stuff.
wanted to we go down the list of actors in this
Sure.
because it's really great. So we have Liam Neeson. We've got Ivan Raimi, his brother, and uh, and he wrote actually Ivan wrote this co-wrote this movie, and it's really interesting because Ivan is a doctor. So
Oh yeah.
he co-wrote this movie with Chuck Baffer. Um, and then we've got Frances McDormand in this movie, who is really playing this really pretty professional lady. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen her in this kind of role where she is like the damsel in distress, so to speak. And then we have Larry Drake, who plays Durant wonderfully as the bad guy, henchman Durant. And he's just like milking every scene for what it's worth. And eventually, Durant becomes a main character in future movies as well. And of course, Ted Raimi is in this movie. Great, great cast, and it was just wonderfully put together. One of my favorite scenes is the fairground scene.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That scene is just so amazing. I love it so much. There's so many different scenes, but that one really stands out to me.
That one guy had like a shotgun for it in his leg or something like that, if I recall.
A shotgun in his leg. I don't remember that one.
He pull out his leg and it turns into a gun or something like that. I remember. Vaguely remember.
Damn. I'm trying to remember that too.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
right?
so. It was
Yeah.
it was when there's a standoff with the
Yeah,
monster.
standoff.
around.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where
He-
that's where that is.
He pulls out his prosthetic leg and he's like, it's a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
total Sam Raimi right
That's
there.
a Sam Raimi
Yeah.
right there. It's totally
Yeah.
crazy,
Mhm.
you know?
So weird
Yeah,
stuff,
and
man.
one of the creepiest things about Durant is that he had a collection of people's fingers.
That's
It was
right.
gross.
I
Oh
forgot
my
about
God.
all that. Yeah.
It's so disturbing, and it's just so nonchalantly like, uh, you know, being evil. Yeah, just a great script. Very great. I love that script.
And
Um,
ironically, the biggest fans of this film were Siskel and Ebert, who
oh
called
really?
Evil Dead Dog of the Week. They love this movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they loved how original it was. And I remember them. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Some of the review of Darkman, they really praised it.
Oh wow,
Uh,
that's great.
That one I didn't remember, Mikey, that they love
yeah.
Dark Man.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
they love Darkman. That's why, like, wow, this film is pretty good. You know.
Yeah.
But it is the energy of this film, though. You can really see.
I just remember being sold because it was the Evil Dead director doing like
Yeah.
a superhero type movie. I was like, I'm there. I don't even need to
Yeah.
be told anymore, man. I know this is gonna kick ass.
Yeah, and I love the way. I mean, no pun intended. It was dark. It wasn't about dun, da, 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 it was like we're going into the underbelly, and it's going to be gross. It's going to be nasty. That beginning scene where the bomb is, that bird thing is like tipping over, and it
Yeah.
slowly builds up until we get the explosion. Excellent tension. And one of the things that he said about the movie, and I'm paraphrasing here, he says he wanted to make a monster movie with a monster that had a human heart. And I thought, wow,
That's a cool line.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what he did. So yeah, much love for Darkman.
Dark Man, check it out. This is a good comment. Dark Man made me wish
Yeah.
Raimi had made the Shadow movie because I adore
Oh.
that IP, and the one that came out with a that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine if he got his hands on that character, how good that would be.
Oh my
Shit.
God! Imagine the energy and creativity that would have gone into that.
And just the
Yeah.
weirdness of the Shadow
The
and how
Shadow,
he
dude.
is. Oh
He's
yeah,
a
it would
weird-
be perfect for him.
The Shadow needs to get remade because that character paved the way for Batman. People don't know this.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
the whole
he was
Rogues
the
Gallery.
Pope King.
He's a Pope King,
Yep.
and there needs to be a good Shadow film. And Raimi, oh my God, he would have blown everybody away with that.
Oh, and everybody Rise, the king has arrived, Fraser Dawson.
Oh, hi, Frasier.
What's
I
going
did.
on, mother freakers? The freak is there a god dog? Is whatever, right? What's up, Fraser? King has arrived.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I didn't to be on. I do love a good messed up movie. So, The Shadow worked for me. On a silly level.
Yeah,
Um, and I did like that character, and like I could see the potential. Is the one of the reasons why I like that movie. It's like,
yeah,
okay, well, this, with a little tweaking, this could, do there's could be more happening here. And I was always hoping that they would do a second one and then correct their mistakes,
Fix
but
it.
they never got a chance.
yeah. And they show there's untapped potential there. In fact, wait a minute. You know what? I just remember something. Sam Raimi was going to do a Shadow film.
Oh,
He
really?
was.
Really?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, and the rights went away. But
Oh,
he
damn.
was. I'm pretty sure I was reading about this. He was developing a Shadow film, but it never worked out. But can you imagine what that would have been like?
Yeah, I'm sure he would have knocked it out of the ballpark because
Uh,
basically, the tones and the
yeah,
flavor was kind of baked into Darkman quite a bit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's like
That's what.
Darkman meets Dick Tracy kind of thing.
Yeah, a
Uh,
little Batman in there, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And that's another movie I wish somebody would really do is Dick Tracy. I know it was done in the 80s
yeah. I remember that one.
with Warren Beatty, but I think we could use a good um, version of Dick Tracy. I think he's got potential. I mean, he should be. It would be a nice period piece to do too, as well, since
Yeah, you would
um,
definitely have to make it a period piece. You
well,
know,
yeah,
Dick Tracy in the comic strip was pretty violent. The Chester Gold was pretty violent for its time. You can do a
hmm
really gritty, dark Dick Tracy. Look, all his villains are all
yes,
freakish,
yeah,
just like Batman's villains are.
yeah.
I think the Shadow. I think Raimi was attached to the Shadow after the Spider-Man films. It wasn't that long ago, about 10 years ago. But it never came through.
Mm.
never came
Sadly.
through. Yeah, dude, if Raimi got Shadow, that would be just.
It's
It'd
a
be great. It'd be great.
match made in heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
So
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wait, he
Warren.
owns the rights to Dick
Yeah,
Tracy and
yeah.
refuses to let the rights go.
Uh,
Wow, he's just being a butthead at this
he's
point.
bitter. Remember, every couple of years he has that video where he's Dick Tracy, just so he can keep the
That's
rights
right.
with Leonard Maltin, watching him. Just really crazy shit, man.
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Okay,
It's
let it
kind of like the
go, bro.
way like Harrison Ford won't let go of Indy.
Yeah, well, this guy takes it like literally, like you will not give up the rights. So, like every couple of
Wow.
years, he has this video where he's dressed up as Dick Tracy, and
He's
it-
weird.
and that counts as legally it
That counts as
counts.
his new movie, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, so
and
he
it's
can
on
keep the
YouTube.
rights.
You can see him on
Oh,
YouTube.
God.
It's
I can't wait to look at that.
it's weird shit.
That's that's my new mission.
So, of course, you know where I'm going next, guys.
Yeah,
It's this, Evil
of
Dead
course,
2.
of
Yeah.
course.
Which is it a remake of the first movie or is it not? Is it I don't even know at this point. I don't even really care. They're both awesome. You
They're
know,
both awesome. I think it's Raimi with a bigger budget, right? If I could have
he's just got a
done
chance to make his movie again with a bigger budget, right?
exactly, it's like exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I,
So
I,
here's some pics.
then you see Bruce Campbell's like real personality come out with this one.
Yes,
They're just really, really over the top, and he's just hilarious.
Yeah. You can see there's a lot more money on screen.
I just like some of these alternative movie posters too.
Nice. I never
Cool.
saw that one. That looks
Yeah.
cool.
I have a DVD with that art on it on the cover, so that's cool. There's trigger warning. He has to chop up his girlfriend. Trigger warning. There's the other one in the trapped in the cellar in the next movie.
Those are always creepy as hell.
Remember the eyeball scene?
Yeah.
And you know what? And here's the cause of all the problems. This
The
damn Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
You know,
Yeah,
just
I wish we end up seeing in Marvel under a different name, the
yeah,
Darkhold.
yeah. It's all the same thing, right? It's just
Yeah,
calling it different thing. But
yeah.
I especially one of my favorite parts of Evil Dead 2 is the fight with his hand.
Yes, yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
His
yeah,
hand,
yeah.
yes, yes.
yeah, the
That
hand gets
yeah.
possessed, and he has to fight it and cut it off, and that's how he gets the chainsaw, you know,
Even
arm or
I've seen
whatever.
that scene a
Does
Yeah,
it
hundred
I
get
think
more?
you
times.
could
Does it get?
handle Evil Dead 2 because
I think she
there's a lot of
can.
comedy offsetting. It's
There
not as
is.
brutal as the
Okay.
first one.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard. That's exactly what I heard. People have said that the comedy is stronger in Evil Dead 2.
Well, it's
Um,
kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you couldn't handle the first one,
Oh
go see
shit!
the second one, which
No, the
is
second
just
one's hilarious.
it's hilarious. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Hilarious. It's
The
such so
tone
much
is
dark
totally
humor in it.
different.
Mikey, we got to look at this comic because look at
Yeah.
this. Not to dick ride the comics to screen movies tip. I also wish Vigilante had
Yep.
made it into a decent movie. His clown ass
Ah,
personality as mechanism as comic relief
yeah.
delivery and that dork ass.
That's it. James Gunn's Vigilante is a total disgrace. It's
Total
like
disgrace.
every time we discuss Peacemaker somewhere on whatever channel, always bring up the sore point that's the Vigilante. What a way to ruin a character, man.
I
It's
mean,
just
who
ah,
only morons have love for that vigilante character. I'm sorry, he is
it's awful,
terrible.
awful. And you know what's sad when Greg Berlanti did better than you because
Yeah,
he took Vigilante seriously.
his
He,
vigilante wasn't a clown. I was
no,
saying that in
no, no,
Sky's
no.
chat last night. Like at least his vigilante was, serious.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he wasn't no
oh, so
dick
the
jokes.
original, the comic book version was a serious character.
Yeah,
yes,
Adrian
yeah,
Chase. That was
Oh, okay.
first appearance, and yeah, he committed suicide. Vigilante committed suicide in the
yes,
comics.
Oh
I
wow.
mean,
yeah. It's
that's how
very
dark it
serious.
was. I mean, then Alan Moore wrote 2 issues of his book. That's how serious a character he was. Like Alan Moore in the Swamp Thing Prime. Before Watchmen would write a vigilante 2-part story called Father's Day. It was great
He
stuff.
went from in the comics, a disgraced attorney general, kind of right
Yeah,
to, well, I wouldn't say disgraced, but quit. He was so fed up with the system that he quit to become a vigilante.
yeah.
And in James Gunn's world, he's working at like Luby's as a busboy or something.
Oh
It's just
God.
so dumb,
Oh
Mm.
so
man.
dumb.
Yeah, that could be really
But,
frustrating as a fan.
but
To
yes,
see something
the
like
evil
that.
Deicide, the death metal band, has the song dedicated to the Evil Dead, Dead by Dawn, one of their best songs ever. I suggest listen to it. Dead by Dawn. Gonna get me started. I'm gonna go off the rails and talk about vigilante. Let's get back to Evil Dead 2. What a fun but good horror movie, man. It
Mhm.
was killer. The budget went up, the effects went up. I wouldn't say it's not as gory, right, as the first one either.
No.
But you
No,
have,
I think Retro would like this one a lot.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll put it on my list.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
I've been hearing a lot of people say the very same thing about Evil Dead 2, that it's more comedy. And
Yeah.
if I liked Army of Darkness, I'm definitely gonna like that one. So
Yeah, because it
I'm gonna
perfectly
give.
leads into Army of Darkness.
Yeah,
Like,
it does. And
Okay.
I got a recommendation for you as well, Retro. I watched it back to back with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Watch those fools.
oh, that's a
You would
great double
have
I don't
feature, dude.
know. I
you,
don't know that one. You're
no,
gonna.
you'll have a ball. Trust me. You're gonna be laughing so hard.
Let's take it. Let's take it one step at a time. One horror movie at a time. I can't. I am a bit of what do they call people who are scaredy pants?
Scaredy pants. I
Scaredy
haven't heard
pants.
that one in a while.
And right since like junior high school or middle school. Scaredy pants.
You know,
Hey,
I
Leo
remember.
Sevens.
What's up, Marcus?
Hey, Marcus.
I remember I did see Evil Dead 2 in the theaters, and it was unrated. It was
Wow.
released unrated back then, so it was a big deal. But of course, it was in the 80s, and we looked old enough, so we got it, no problem. But yeah, it was released unrated. I do remember that now.
Oh,
It was an
wow.
R. And what was it? Was it NC-17 or whatever they would call it back then,
That
or
was
was it
in.
just unrated? I don't even
It was
remember.
unrated. In
Yeah.
1990, it became NC-17. That's with because that Uma Thurman film, Henry and June. I think that's what started the. How do I remember this shit?
Oh,
Henry
that's
and
really
June.
good.
That's why you're Mikey, dude. You got
Yeah,
this
Mikey,
knowledge.
you got the info.
I remember that. Like, where did that come from? Like, I didn't even thought that film over 30 years.
And you pulled that out
Fuck,
like
man.
that. Boom. I got it.
NC-17 rating. That and the cook if he was wife and lover. I don't know how I remember this shit.
Oh, that's cool. Marcus said he saw Army of Darkness in a dead theater, and 2 weeks
That
later he was
might be worth a lot of money, I think, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, original
dude.
Oh, yeah.
movie, not a reprint. Hell yeah. Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead are all great. All 3 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead is amazing. Yeah, I liked Ash vs. Evil Dead. That was good stuff.
Okay, I got a curveball for all of you.
Uh-huh.
And then Retro, you should give us your favorite after me here. Not what you expecting. This is definitely not in the wheelhouse of Pandora's box, but it's Sam Raimi. One of my favorite Sam Raimi films is For the Love of the Game. The baseball film with Kevin Costner. And I
Oh.
believe Kelly Preston, late Kelly Preston. Oh my gosh, she was just one of the hottest actresses of the 80s.
Yep.
John Travolta's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly passed away a
Bruce
few years ago. Just adored her. This is a really good baseball film, and Kevin Costner's been a couple of them. I think this is one of his best ones. Very uplifting film, and it shows a different side of Sam Raimi. If you're just a fan of him as a director, and to see what else he could do,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of heart in this film, and I highly recommend it if you just want to see a different side of Sam Raimi. And I know it's not really our crowd, but that's me. I'll pull up some shit like what the fuck,
Sure.
But no one talks about this film at all. It disappeared because it's not Spider-Man, it's not Darkman, it's not Evil Dead, but I think it's one of his best movies. So check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. I haven't seen it. I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah.
And some people have said that it doesn't have any of that, the flashy stuff
Nope.
that's usually in a lot of his movies. So it's like a different take from him.
Very subtle, very subdued, and it's a baseball movie. So.
Yeah, but wait, what's going on there? Sam, are you okay? Are you going through something?
Wait. You directed Field of Dreams? Did I hear you right?
No.
No, that was a different Costner film, but maybe as well. But for the love of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched this. I was a baseball. I became a baseball fanatic before I saw this film, so it was really. I was really in the right mood for it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Sox. If you like baseball, I think you'll like the film a lot.
Yeah.
Here's one of my curveballs. It's not really a curveball, but I think it's a fun movie that he did. Let me find the picture. Yeah. Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
I've never seen this. Okay, now I admit not seeing it.
Me too. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
The premise of the movie is the main star is a loan officer, and she's a nice person, right? Basically, but her boss basically tells her, hey, you need to start, making tough decisions, this and that. And this old gypsy comes in for a third loan decision, and and they could easily do it, but just to prove to her boss against her own better judgment, she decides to not give this gypsy the loan extension.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, guess what happens to her? She gets
bad
a curse put on her. It is a great movie.
That sounds like an AC comic book, dude. When you said gypsy,
totally.
Like, okay, where's that Tales from the Crypt plot twist at the end, right?
Like you brought it on yourself,
Very Stephen Kingish, right?
Yeah, we're some gypsy. Okay.
Yeah, note to everybody: if a gypsy asks you for something, try to give it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't try to screw them
It's
over.
funny because even my dad, who's he was super old school, and like he would say, "Don't ever cross the gypsies," and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, be turning into werewolves at night and stuff like that.
Right.
I just know when this film came out, that's one of the greatest movie titles of all time. Drag Me to Hell. Oh.
Yeah, and you literally have hands that come out and drag you to hell.
That kicks ass. What? How did I miss this?
Yeah, and she tries to enlist the help of a psychic to help break this curse throughout the movie. So I don't want to give it all away, but it's a fun movie, man.
What year did this come out?
Was it like mid 2000s or something? I did not even look at I can find out real quick.
Yeah, I think it was after 2000s he was making movies like that. So
I totally missed this one. I remember seeing a trailer, but I never saw it.
2009 actually.
Okay, so that's oh yeah, I was pretty heavily into MCU at the time, and going to conventions and stuff. So I was just probably too busy doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I caught it on like DVD or something. I didn't see it at the theaters.
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna look for it and see if I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. I know it'll be up your alley, Mikey. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, that title alone. I mean, I completely forgot about this next round. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it's another one besides the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody got another one?
Retro, you have anything?
Well, my favorite is definitely Army of Darkness. I mean, yeah, Army of Darkness. I actually didn't see any of his stuff like in the theater ever. I couldn't. There was no way to get my mom to go see this stuff. And I actually caught it one night when they were playing movies. And I saw I didn't see the beginning of it. I actually saw the middle of it. And like somewhere between when he's going into the house and getting the and everything starts or no, not the house, when he's going to get the book and he messes up the line. I was like, what is this? This is hilarious. And just seeing
that's total Ash for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then seeing the process. I mean, of course, they say one of my favorite lines, "Klaatu Barada Niktu,"
yes,
which is in reference to the day the Earth stood still, 1951.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I thought it was really cool because I was able to see how the zombies came about, and that made it. I was able to connect with the zombies that way. I was like, oh, okay. And all of the mishaps that were going, he just kept messing up. I'm yelling at the screen saying, "Say it right this time."
That's perfect, Ash, because that's what he always acts like he's in control, and it's always out of control. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into half the time, but that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, it was great. And just seeing everything else.
Rules, by the way, just random werewolf transformation. I love that movie.
I love Bad Moon. To be
very...
I've never seen that one.
Oh, you gotta watch it, Mikey.
It's not liked by many. It isn't, but I love werewolf movies, and that's a great one. But Army of Darkness, though, it being also a period piece kind of thing, going back in time, that worked for me. I was like, okay, this is all the stuff I enjoyed. It was lots of moving parts that really piqued my interest before seeing the zombies, and I was like, okay, now I can live. I could understand. I could live with the zombies, because the first half of the film really isn't about the zombies at all, right? It's just him in this new world and meeting everybody, and so then it's the last part when there's a full-on war that happens. And it's just comedy after comedy moments and laughter all through, and I fell in love with that movie. I have several different copies of the movie, both digital and an old VHS tape, and I was like, wow, this is really, really cool stuff here. I mean, I watch it like at least once a year.
Okay,
So,
well, if you like Army of Darkness that much, you got to see Evil Dead 2
okay, I'll
because
see
I
it.
mean
I'll
it
see it.
fills in so many gaps going because Evil Dead 2 leads right into Army of Darkness. So
Okay, I will.
yeah,
I will
and
watch
it's
it.
not like I don't think you'll be terrified or anything. And if
I
you are,
will.
blame Mikey because it wasn't my fault.
I will watch it. I just wanted to highlight some of the actors. Of course, we got Ivan and Sam wrote the this, and Bruce Campbell is the lead. And we have Embeth Davidson playing the damsel, if you will, and she is absolutely incredible playing both parts of the sweet princess, and then later on the zombified princess. It's
Yes.
just incredible, and I did just love that there's an evil Ash, and he's leading the army, and it's great. And then Danny Elfman did the score,
Yeah.
which was
Yep.
fantastic. And I believe
Why it's
I'm
so
not
good.
quite sure, but I think this is the first time that they worked together, and they worked a few more times later. But it was when I heard the score, I'm like, this is a perfect union. This really reminds me of him and Tim Burton, like the way,
Mhm.
the flavor of the way they make films together really work. And one other piece to this that I wanted to highlight is that it took a year. There was a delay in getting this film released. They like technically finished. It should have been released in 1991. But there was some issue with the studio, what they could show, the rating and ratings and all of that, and so
Oh
it was
wow.
released a year after the delays. So
That
as
I did not know either. Wow.
uh,
But I remember being highly anticipated because Evil Dead 2 was so awesome. And I think I
Mhm.
remember seeing like the Fangoria set visits and talking about Army of Darkness and like, wow, they're really going medieval here. It was like, what? And I
I remember
remember
my
the skeletons going back to the
Skeleton Warriors, dude.
yeah,
that's
the
Yeah.
great.
Harryhausen effects, all
Yep.
that.
Yep. And Jason and the Argonauts, right? Yeah.
Yes,
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 yes.
that was great stuff.
And I
That's the one thing
remember,
we should talk about one day too is Harryhausen
dude, I
films,
would
man.
love to. I love, man,
Absolutely.
especially the
Yeah.
original Clash of the Titans. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yes.
Oh, the original's
Yes.
insane.
love that film.
Me
Love
Yes.
that
too.
movie.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we did the Evil Dead trilogy. And should we
Okay.
talk about the other trilogy real quick, or is there anything else anybody's want to bring up? Why we're
I mean, Spider-Man. I mean, gotta say about those about Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man 3. I liked it.
Me too. I loved
I
it.
don't get the complete trashing of it.
I
Yeah.
don't either.
It's like it's better than a lot of other things, Like
I like.
maybe it's not up to 1 and 2 par, but it's not a terrible movie,
No,
man.
I thought it was a really fun film, and I like the Sandman in the movie. Comic accurate. He looks like Sandman,
I think so.
And
The storyline for Sandman was
yeah,
really good.
yeah,
You know what? One of my favorite things is when he goes emo.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
I
yeah.
love
being a
that. I
jerk,
love
and
that.
that whole scene was hilarious. That
That
was
was
I
total
love that
hilarious.
Sam
too.
Raimi, man.
Yeah.
Peter Parker just being a jerk,
People
Yeah.
make fun of that, but it was supposed to be funny. It wasn't like, oh, Ramy jumped the shark. No, that scene was supposed to be hilarious, and it was.
Yeah.
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 And if you knew what was going on, you were like, "Oh, this is hilarious,"
Yeah.
I
He's
like it more than the Garfield films. I saw Spider-Man 3 about 3 times in the theater. That's how much I enjoyed it. I'm like, what was so wrong with it?
I liked it a lot. I like the Venom part as well.
Yeah,
I'm not I don't know much about the Venom comics.
yeah.
How the
sure,
character appears in the comics. But in that film, it made sense the way it happened, and I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
it was also like I said, like we've already talked about how funny it was and how the comedy is really like was the high point. And I feel like Sam Raimi is really hard on himself with this movie. He really thinks it's his worst. He really says it was terrible, but I do believe it was highly entertaining.
Yeah.
And even if people didn't like it, there was still a small, or maybe a large. I mean, I'm not sure how many people
It made a lot of
still
money
love
though.
it. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
I think it
sure. I'm
still made a
not sure
haul.
where it
Yeah.
ranks in the box office, but I think it may have been more successful than the second one. It did more money.
Yeah.
It made a ton of money at least, you know.
And they
And I
were
think
gonna make a fourth one, and it just
they
didn't
were.
work out.
But here's the thing though about this movie, a lot of the haters retro are Venom fans. I've
Oh,
noticed.
hmm
You know, like we got
Oh,
I'm
that would
sorry,
make
but
sense.
this is a better Venom movie than the two Venom ones that Tom Hardy did, in my opinion. Um, but the Venom fans were really upset because they cast a guy from that '70s show. Um,
Yeah, I thought he was great.
I
I
thought he was
mean,
great. I had no
yeah,
issue with him. You
yeah,
know,
no problem. What was it? Was Flash
Topher Grace.
Thompson, right? Am I remembering it right? Is that the Venom
Uh,
character?
Eddie Brock,
Eddie Brock. Why
Eddie
am I
Brock,
saying
yeah.
Flash Thompson? That's something
And
else.
and I
Yeah.
like Gwen Stacy in the film. I mean, wasn't that Ron Howard's daughter who played
yep, it was
Bryce?
Bryce Howard,
Yeah, she's great. You know, so
Bryce
Yeah,
Dallas
I mean,
Howard.
it gets
yeah,
slammed, but it's really not that bad. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
it's
think
really
not
so.
bad. It's
And
not.
it's so funny. She has like complete blonde, like blonde, bleach
Yeah,
blonde hair. So she
yeah.
looks totally different.
It's not.
Um,
It's not
okay.
Peacemaker.
Well, this kind of makes sense. Sam didn't want Venom because he was unfamiliar with the
That
character.
is true.
yeah.
He Sony forced him to put Venom in there
hmm
because he just wanted Sandman and Spider Man. That is it.
Yeah. And that would have been super compelling.
Yeah, that would have
Um,
been.
but like I said, I didn't mind the the inclusion of Venom.
Yeah,
I thought Topher Grace was great. A lot of people just don't like that actor for whatever reason, and I think it's weird
yeah,
and just
But
like
here we go again. When the studio tries to force these things onto the
yeah.
creators, it usually turns out not working out because it's not the creator's
mhm,
vision. And
they have a
maybe,
good sense of these things.
yeah, maybe if they gave him a chance to get familiar with him for another movie down the road, it would have
Uh,
worked out better for
And
them.
for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah,
and the thing is too with this film is that people thought that scene where he does that emo dance. Well, he's nerdy. You get the point. He is a nerd. He's trying to
Yeah.
look cool, which is why it's
he's
so
a
funny.
nerd trying to look cool.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
Yes.
that's the whole point.
Yeah, he's supposed to be awkward
Over the head.
because it's
Yes,
messing with
he's
his
still
head.
awkward. He can't help it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made that scene so hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
what is this nerd doing?
Yeah, and he's like hitting on girls, and some of them are into it, and some of them are like, oh, what's going on here?
No.
He's just not. He's like,
People
he's
just
not,
did not get it at all. Like, you forgot he's a nerd, right? Is that what it is? You forgot he's a nerd?
He's not supposed to be Mr. Smooth.
Because
And
if
all
he
that.
if he did that in the first film, you would have gotten it. I think by the third film, they're so used to, oh, he's Spider-Man, he's cool.
Yeah, he knows.
No,
What
he's a
doing.
nerd. He's still a geek. You know?
I also think that they had a problem with the way he treated I forgot her name.
Mary Jane?
Mary Jane, yes.
Yeah.
Even though she's been horrible to him for years.
Yeah.
The fact that he flips her. Well, no, he didn't flip her off, but he treated her really poorly.
Yeah.
People hated that. They hated that. They still wanted him to be pining over her.
Yeah, but wasn't he under the influence of the symbiote?
Yeah.
It doesn't register for a lot of comments.
Like, don't you realize
like,
he's not him?
No. Yeah, you challenge their belief system. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Lord, I see what you're
But
saying.
didn't she kiss the Green Goblin though? Because I remember I was like, dude, go with Gwen then. You know?
Yeah, she has been like Gwen has like been interested in him this whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and oh yeah, I agree about the J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons,
Yeah.
he can't be replaced. It's pretty
It's
bad, man.
interesting
He's
that
perfect.
I like that girl that lives above him in his apartment. That really quiet girl, because I
I
think
vaguely remember. Yes.
Oh yeah.
right. Remember her because she
Yeah.
really adored him,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a feeling she was based on Deborah Whitman from the comic books. She was this really shy. She was basically female Peter Parker in the comics. She had the round glasses and everything. In the comics, she was blonde. I think that's who that really was Deborah Whitman. So when I
Okay.
said, like, is she Deborah Whitman? Because she had a different name for her in the film, but in the comic book, he went out with her a few times, but just things didn't work out because he was so busy as Spider-Man
Mm,
that he couldn't have enough time for her, and then they
yeah.
broke up, and she ended up in an abusive relationship where she was
Oh,
beat up by her boyfriend.
oh God.
So it took a dark turn, and I love that character because it really is a female Peter Parker. He met himself. And I think
Yeah.
that's why they broke up because he saw too much of himself in her. That there's no opposites there.
Nothing to attract to.
Nothing exactly,
Yeah,
but
because you're too much alike.
but
Yeah.
she had the same bottle cap glasses and everything. She was bookish and
Yeah.
nerdy. She knew about science and everything.
Mm.
And guys, look up Deborah Whitman from the early '80s. Oh, Socks knows.
Stocks probably know. Yeah.
Because she's a big Spider-Man comic book fan, so he knows. But pretty sure, like
Oh, I think we lost your mic for a second. There you are.
when I saw her in the film, like, hey, is that Deborah Whitman? It looks like her. Sam Raimi had to have based her on
On
Deb.
that character.
Yeah, without calling
Cool.
her that. So anyway,
Mhm.
You guys want to go
yeah,
to
let's go.
Spider-Man 2?
One of the best films ever made, in my opinion. And this is probably why people don't like Spider-Man 3.
It was just too hard to top.
Yeah, it's too hard to
Yeah.
top. But
Mm.
great film. I mean, Doctor Octopus, like
Dr. Octopus, probably one of the top 4 villains in the movies, for comic book movies, I would say, because he was great in this.
Most accurate, right? I mean,
and like he had a way to make entrances too in this movie. Like he'd just come climbing in through windows and over the balcony. It was great, man.
And the fact they pulled this off back then, where special effects are much more sophisticated now, but they pulled this off seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks good.
Looks great. I mean, are we talking 20 years ago now here? 2003, that's just 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, it's a 20-year-old movie, isn't it?
Wow. I mean, to think they pulled this off 20 years ago. This is the peak of Sony, like, right?
Yeah.
Without Feige. This is the peak of Sony without Feige. Well, live action because Spider-Verse is great, but
yeah, I really liked Spider-Man 2. It was top tier. I mean, it's probably one of the best comic book movies out there.
Yeah,
easily in the top 10 for sure.
I like the whole Raimi trilogy. Like I said, I have no problems with 3, so I enjoyed them all. So
what'd you think of Spider-Man 2 Retro?
It's been a long time. It's a little blurry for me. I think my memory is more on the first one because it had a bigger impact on me. Just being like the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And the second one, I was like, okay, it's cool. And the third one was so goofy. You can't forget the goofy one. So it's like, so yeah, I'm gonna have to see 2 again just to refreshen. Because I mean that's the second time today I'm hearing that 2 is like the considered the best of the 3. But for me, I think the first one really set some incredible standards.
For me personally, it really is a toss up. I could go 1 or 2, as the best one, because I mean, 1, we finally got a real Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
For years and on TV or just other interpretations, there was never just nothing that got Spider-Man. And then when we finally got it in the first Spider-Man movie, it was great. And I mean, just
It's,
him, getting bit by the radioactive
mm-hmm.
spider and discovering his powers. But then, this
Oh
guy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
what a villain! What a villain the Green Goblin
yes,
was in that, man.
yeah. William Defoe, man, woo.
Yeah, it's great.
Great
He's
performance, and I'll say about Spider-Man. I like the first half.
What you like the first half? I think we lost him for a second. I want to hear what he had to say.
mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, the chat. Spider-Man 2
It
was
was
perfect.
perfect. Okay. Yeah, I have to watch it again. I must have missed it. I'm sure it's gonna be like, oh yeah, probably agree. But right now it's really foggy. Um,
Well,
yeah,
too.
William Defoe, just
Yeah, I mean,
insanely good. I
such
mean,
a great performance, man.
we just that meme that's going around that everybody is saying like what's it called? You don't know how much I sacrificed, with him like yelling and at the board meeting. Like he looks his facial uh expression changes within like a millisecond.
Yes,
And
that
it's
split
like it was,
personality of the Goblin, dude. Ooh.
yeah, it was intense, and I was like, wow. For me, I think that rivals um the other performances for me in other movies and things like that. So that's kind of the only reason why I choose the first one over all of them. And like I said, it kind of for me just cemented, okay, this is Spider-Man. And it felt like the most real that I'd ever seen. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up with Spider-Man on was it Sesame Street?
As
Electric
that's the
Company.
company.
Electric
Yeah.
Company, yeah.
Oh
And
God, we used to wait for that in kindergarten just for the Spider-Man parts. That's the only time the class would shut up.
yeah, and then they tried a TV show, and that was okay. Um,
But the
and
TV
this,
show tried, for its time.
yeah, it did well. I mean, it just was,
I actually I am more of a Punisher fan myself, but unfortunately, Sam Raimi did not direct a Punisher movie. So,
yeah. Bam, we need you for the Punisher. But yeah,
wouldn't that
that
be
was
wild? A Sam Raimi Punisher movie? Wow.
yeah. But yeah, did I have some other thing? There were a lot of really amazing actors in the
What's up, Super
first
Bro?
movie. Um, I think we named all of them, but again, Danny Elfman did the score for. He did the score for only 2 and 3. I'm not sure if he did the score for 1 as well. I think he did, but I couldn't find that. But it's you know, he's just amazing. I love the two of them when the two of them collaborate together. And of course, Bruce and Ted Raimi make cameo appearances in
Yes,
these
yes,
movies.
yes.
So,
That's always cool that he throws them in there. But
yeah.
let's talk about just when Spider-Man finally starts like doing full-on web slinging. How that was like that was mind-boggling
Yeah.
back
Oh,
then.
yes.
To see that, like wow, it looks so good and real, and like we
Mm-hmm.
had never really saw that in any type
Yeah.
of live-action Spider-Man.
And
Yeah.
when I saw this, because first of all, when I heard Sam Raimi was directing Spider-Man, I just lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to see. Keep in mind how early this was, right? Um, because in terms of Marvel films, all we had were X-Men and X2, right? Bryan Singer, which were mind-blowing by themselves.
Yes.
But when I heard that Sam Raimi was doing Spider-Man, I lost it. Just like, oh my God, what a perfect guy to
Yeah.
do this film. And to me, Spider-Man and Iron Man are the best origin movies ever made.
Very. Yeah. I agree.
I could go along with that, Mikey.
Kind of look
Yeah.
accurate. And
Yes.
what I love, the first half of Spider-Man is so great. The way he sets up the origin is so well done.
Yeah.
And I always tell people this, like the first half of Spider-Man is one of the greatest movies ever made. I mean, I like the second half too, but the first half was so good. It's
The whole origin.
perfect.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, oh my God.
Oh, perfect. You know,
Yeah.
one of the things I really appreciated the nod to Todd McFarlane when
Yeah.
at the end of the movie when he's fighting with the Green Goblin and the way
Yeah.
the Spidey suit is ripped up,
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
out of the McFarlane
McFarlane.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight out of there.
And
Yeah.
in that ending, it has a half Spidey face. It's totally from Steve Ditko. There is so much great stuff in this film, and the way they relate with the Aunt May relationship, the Uncle Ben dying, it's just
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is just not perfect. Like Sony, what happened to you guys, man? How come here?
Cliff Roberts played
Yeah,
Ben, and it was just the way he plays it. He was pretty old at the time. It
yeah,
just was so tender, and you
yeah,
just really felt bad for this guy who
mm,
got attacked,
mm,
and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you feel the pain that
mhm,
i- i- you know that Peter is going through, and
Because Peter could have stopped them, and
yeah, yeah, he had the
that's
opportunity and
yeah.
was thinking selfishly. And also, I also liked, and you hit on it just a little bit when you were talking about setting up the first half, setting things up,
yeah,
was the organic. And somebody mentioned this in the way they showed the web slinging, like
yeah,
how it worked, and like showed you like the details of it grabbing onto something,
yeah,
almost like as if it was right out of the comic book,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
like
It was,
like
yeah,
scene for scene. And I think for those things, it's like this is how a superhero movie should be. I feel
hmm
like this movie, the first Spider-Man movie, Batman 1989, and Christopher Reeve Superman movie, those three movies, I think had a lot to inform other movies how to do
yeah,
How to go
superhero
about the
movies.
origin and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
moving forward. And like you can see the reflection in other movies, but it was done masterfully in this movie. Absolutely.
And the thing is that he captured the joy of being Spider-Man, and which was copied later on by Shazam. It just did not.
It didn't translate.
It didn't translate
It didn't
because
translate.
yeah, at all. And like the first time he crawled the walls, right? The joy on his face, Um,
Yeah.
and you know what? I haven't seen him in a long time, but I still remember the music that was playing when he was crawling up that wall. That's the instrumental score was so beautiful. Um, just capturing his excitement and everything.
Hmm.
Um, and I love the scenes where he's being bullied and he fights back. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see in the cafeteria. I mean, there's just so much great scenes in here.
It's so cool, because
yeah.
Yeah,
they're taking the time
yeah.
Hmm.
exploring his origin, but not in a boring, slow way. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
paced very well. And that's another thing I think Sammy Raimi is good at is this pacing of his films are always
Yeah.
at a good pace. There's never a part where you go, yeah, well, in the middle, it got a little boring, or some movies that happens too,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
But I never catch that with his movies. They always seem like a good pace. He knows how to pace his films.
Oh
And
yeah, there's not a boring scene in this film at all. It's just
Marcus brings up some good recommendations. A Simple Plan, The Gift, and I remember The Quick and the Dead is a good movie.
Yeah,
that
that's on my
was
list.
that
That's on
was
my
a,
list.
that was a
Oh,
good
okay.
film.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's talk about that one a little then,
Okay.
Retro, because we could talk about Spider-Man movies all day. Let's talk about The
Oh,
Quick and the Dead.
by the way, guys, I have to go at 7 o'clock. Let's do the drive-in next week so we can have a full
Okay.
show for that, and we'll just continue on with Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work out fine.
Yeah, because you're not gonna have enough time to do a go over because I have a lot of drive-in stuff. So next week, guys, tune in for drive-in. Let's keep on going with Raimi. There's just too much. We're on a roll right now. So
Okay. Quick and the Dead. Directed by Simon Moore. I'm sorry. Directed by Sam Raimi, but
yeah,
written by Simon Moore. We're starring Sharon Stone. She wears no makeup and through the whole thing, and she's gorgeous.
yeah, she
Okay.
is.
I didn't
Gorgeous.
realize that.
I didn't
No
even realize
makeup.
that either. That's something new. Like,
Wow,
Not-
holy
look at her
crap!
showing off.
Damn.
That's a
Yeah.
flex.
Yeah. Then we've got Gene Hackman playing the really, really smarmy bad guy
Yeah.
who created this horrible game of killing up everybody and winning the profits at the end of this horrible game that he's created. And then we've got Russell Crowe, a very young, virile Russell Crowe in the movie. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio. Now,
what a cast!
Yeah.
Crap. Gene Hackman, DiCaprio, Sharon Stone. What
now, Sharon Stone had to fight for Leo DiCaprio to be on in this
That's
movie.
crazy. That's crazy looking back on it now.
Yeah, and she even paid his salary herself out of her own pocket.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And a few other actors in this. We've got Keith David from great movies like The Thing and what's the other one? They
live.
They live. Yes, they live. We've got Kevin Conway. Thank you. You've got Kevin Conway, who I just love. Gary Sinise is in this.
Another good character actor there.
I know these are incredible people. Lance Henriksen is in this as well.
That's
and the legendary Pat Hingle.
Wow, what a cast! Look at that.
Incredible.
And it's hard to watch a modern Western. It's so hard.
Oh yeah, people just aren't. It's hard to get people interested in a Western.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pacing in that movie is a little bit it's a little slower.
Yeah.
But it's like paying homage to movies like like old. My brain is like the Italian movies.
Yeah, that's the
spaghetti westerns.
Spaghetti westerns, the Clint Eastwood with no name type of stuff. So Sergio Leone, which had different, more slower pace than back then. Then you had those great instrumental scores, Ennio Morricone, right? And just great. I don't know how the fuck I remember all this. Why is it when I'm on your show, like stuff pops into my head? I don't have Wikipedia open in this window, guys. I'm just remembering this, like mentally downloading this stuff.
Because you're just able to talk about things and be chill. You're not under any scoop pressures.
Scoop.
Yeah.
Scoop,
I need a scoop or I'm gonna die.
You gotta throw some shade at James Gunn now,
Yeah. Here we go, the quick and the dead.
Yeah.
But look at that cast: Sharon Stone, Hackman, Russell Crowe, DiCaprio.
Yeah. And I can't believe that they didn't want to pay. That she had to pay.
No makeup,
Leonardo's. No makeup.
She looks great. Wow.
Yeah.
And how many actors would do that nowadays? They'd be too self-conscious, right? Well, I'm under the sun, all the sweat and everything. You know what I mean?
I'm having a bad hair day. I'm there, Francisco. I'm wearing whenever you see me with a cap on, that's a bad hair day for now. Too many flyaways, too many things going on. I'm just like, I'm covering this shit up.
I do the same.
Billy Hole. That's hilarious.
Well, one of the things that he used to do, he's a producer of many, many, many works, and one of the things he's a producer of one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
Yes.
Time Cop's a cool movie.
That's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Who was the actor in there? Who was in Remo Williams, right? What's his name? Fred.
Jean-Claude Van Damme stars.
Okay,
in it.
No, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of a one from the 80s. You know what I'm talking about, Necron? The 80s time travel film.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I got caught up in this comment too. Like they were giving retro props.
It had that guy from Remo Williams in there. What was that?
The Buckaroo Banzai guy or what?
No, it was Fred. Just fuck his name, Fred something.
Okay, refresh me. What movie?
Fred Williamson.
No, not him. No, I've actually met Fred Williamson.
Oh, is he cool? He is cool.
He was the dude's just rocking cool. Okay.
Yes.
Damn, I hate
No,
when
it
I don't
was
remember.
he passed away a few years ago. He was in Remo Williams.
All right, let me look
Uh,
it up. Remo Williams.
Let me download my memory here. I know I should.
I'm cheating.
But
Remo Williams.
at this as a side thing, just about Time Cop. So we have
Fred
Jean
Ward.
Claude.
Fred Ward is
Yeah,
the guy's
that's him.
name.
Fred
Oh,
Ward.
Fred Ward.
Okay, okay. Memory. It's starting to work now.
Recharging.
Memory.
It's rebooting.
The film is called Time Rider. Do you guys remember Time Rider?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that movie, Time Rider.
I got it mixed up with Time Cop with
Time Rider.
Jean-Claude Van.
Oh.
Time Cop is where is that where he jumped and did the split with his legs?
Yep, he was in the kitchen and he splits. Just wild.
A lot of guys really cringe at that scene. By the way, it's like, ooh.
It's crazy.
I'm sure.
Van Damme probably has some of the most like awesome cringe like scenes in movies forever. I mean, the dance scene.
Never
forget seeing that in the theater.
USA.
Oh my God!
We should do something on Jean-Claude Van Damme because there's a lot of movies.
Oh,
tons.
One of my first videos that actually got a crazy amount of views for whatever reason is me and Francisco from Jamming Out All Badass did a movie recap of Bloodsport.
Oh yeah!
And wow! Yeah, it's hilarious. You just want to, if you're bored one day and you just want to laugh, watch that thing.
I'll never forget seeing the trailer for Time Cop in the theater when he did the splits. You can hear the cringe all over the guys. Oh no!
Oh hi, DC Talk.
What's up, bro?
DC Talk. Yeah, Fred Ward was in Tremors, which. That deserved its own episode, actually.
Tremors.
Oh god, I love that movie so much.
Tremors is a fun movie, dude.
You can watch it over and over again on cable, whatever comes on. It's a good party film. You'll laugh and have fun through it. So, anyway, we're going off topic again, like we usually do. I did not know he produced Time Cop.
Yeah, he produced Time Cop.
I was watching them. I wish I would have wrote it down, but I was watching a movie the other day, and it was written by Sam Raimi, and I was like, "What the hell?" I wish I remember which movie. Movies written by Sam Raimi.
Okay, so well, just to go over this real quick. So Jean-Claude Van Damme is in this one. Mia Sara is in it from Legend, the movie Legend, and also Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh
and
yeah.
Also, Ron Silver plays the bad guy. So he's so good in that. He did a lot of producing and he did a lot of producing in TV movies. So the first TV movie he did was Mantis. He also wrote the story
Mantis,
for that.
Mantis, wow.
And that was a black superhero played by Carl Lumbly. And Gina Torres was in that.
Wow.
Steve James and Marcia Cross, who was in Desperate Housewives. Then he went on to do the Hercules movies starring Kevin Sorbo. And let's see if I have this down, what he's got here. He's got, it started out as movies, part of what they called like an action-packed weekend. So they had like a whole bunch of movies that they kind of put together. And the first one was Hercules. Let's see if I have it right. Hercules Legendary Journeys, The Circle. And then that was starting in 1994.
Yeah.
And then it did so well that it went on to be a TV show from 1995 to 1999. And they filmed in New Zealand.
Mm.
And he produced all those shows, including the Xena show that went on from 1995 to 2001. And there was even a Young Hercules that he produced, 1998 to 1999.
Wow, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, starring Ryan Gosling.
What the hell? Oh my
Yes.
God, it's crazy.
Yes, our Ken that is going to be in the Barbie movie was in that movie. And then also, now this one I love, Cleopatra 2525. Do you guys remember that at all?
No,
No.
It was like a little show set in the future, a dystopian world, starring Gina Torres. That was from
Okay.
two.
Gina Torres, is she the lady in Suits? Is that who that
I'm
is?
not sure if she was in that movie. I know she was at one point married to
You know,
Morpheus.
he had a lot of involvement in all the video games of Evil Dead, Xena, the Xena video games.
I forgot about his
yeah.
connection to Xena. I completely forgot about
Yeah.
that.
He was actually I think it looks like he wrote some of those as well. Oh wow.
Yeah, and between I know Ted Raimi was in all those shows and had a really big character. So was Bruce, and they both did some directing as well of some of the episodes. So Bruce got his hand in directing quite a bit on the two shows. And yeah, that's all I have there.
So yeah, Gina Torres from Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Yeah.
also in a show called Suits, which is on Netflix now. They have all the seasons there. It's a great show. Highly recommend it. You guys go see it.
Wow.
Oh, so she's on Suits, and she was also married at one point to Lawrence Fishburne. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, yeah. Let's see.
He also wrote a movie called Crime Wave.
Crime Wave. Yes, I heard about.
Yes.
Another thing that he did was I think he did a music video for Iggy Pop for his song Cold Metal in 1988.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I
Or
was
that's
like,
that
oh,
Michigan
cool.
connection too. I wonder if he
Oh,
was,
okay.
yeah, right, because they were part of that Michigan area. Maybe he was into the Stooges as a young man or something. It seemed like he would be the type of movies he make. He would like Iggy and the Stooges. Yep, married to Lawrence Fishburne. Wow.
Yeah.
I love all the fun facts that you come with, Retro.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, she's like Miss Trivia here. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great because I didn't
guys.
even know, but I forgot about Raimi and Xena. I just must have read it somewhere. I like, oh shit, I forgot about Mantis.
Mantis. Wow.
Those were good. Those were. I mean, I thought they were like really good when they came out. It was super super exciting because the way they marketed it, it was just like, this low budget, kind of goofy. They were kind of goofy shows, but they were action packed, and that's what they call them, action packed. And it was like monsters and all sorts of wild adventures that people doing television shows weren't doing. That they were either doing like a 90210 or some kind of like drama, but they weren't doing this kind of action thing. And for me, I mean, I just love this kind of corny stuff. I mean, it was fun.
He was an executive producer on Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Don't Breathe. Poltergeist. TV shows. So yeah, the man stays busy.
Yeah, TV.
Spartacus, Gods of the Arena.
Spartacus. I only heard of Spartacus this year. And I need to watch it. I heard that it's really off the chain. From a friend of mine says that it's really crazy.
And now that I know what it feels like to be an executive producer for a TV show, is the weird part.
You sure do, don't you? Wow.
First-hand experience.
I know. I'm living through it still.
Dolph Lundgren, the best Punisher. I didn't mind his Punisher movie actually. Just to go off subject a little. I thought it was pretty cool.
I tell you this much: I was reading about the Punisher and all the comic book magazines, and it wasn't released in theaters here, right?
No,
at
it's
all.
Straight to video.
Yeah, no, I never.
But before it went straight to video, though, a friend of mine went to a comic book convention and bought a bootleg of it, and I remember how excited we were. We got our hands on the Punisher,
Yeah.
and holy shit, I watched it over and over again that weekend on VHS. I was like, holy shit, I'm watching the Punisher. And it had like the number rolling on it. It's a totally bootleg tape, but it was taken from the master
Oh.
of the film. Like somebody, it was an inside job. Somebody
Oh.
because Stanley did not want to get it released.
Was it like an unedited cut? Like,
It was
did you get all
unedited.
the violence?
Yeah, it was.
So
It was
that early.
It was super violent.
Yeah, the unedited version was super violent.
No,
yeah.
this was a director's copy or something. It was not, something that was given to a theater or anything. It was an intentional inside job because Stanley did not want to get the film released. He didn't like
that was a bad move. That movie was pretty cool.
It was really good. It was for an action film,
and it was a good crime story too.
It was.
Yeah.
And Dolph Lundgren was great in it. I liked it.
The action sequences for the time, I thought they were pretty kick-ass. It was fast-paced. Shit. That was a mistake not putting that out.
I have an idea for a future show, by the way, before I forget. So next week, let's do Drive-In. The week after that, I have an idea.
Okay.
It's an episode called Stump the Box. Well, let me tell you what this is about. Each of us are going to pick 2 movies that we think either of us have seen but have forgotten about.
Oh, good Lord, Mikey.
And they have to be 70s or 80s horror. And so we're going to stump the box. We're going to see if you remember. There are 2 movies in my head that I think either of you have seen, but you completely forgot about. And you guys have not brought it up at all during any of our shows.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So they're not that obscure. They're just forgotten.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my case, I probably just didn't see it altogether.
No, I got a feeling you have seen at least one of these.
Okay.
I got a feeling at least one of them you've seen because they've been on cable. So you might have seen them in your childhood. You're like, oh my God, I forgot about that movie. That's what the whole episode's about. Called Stump the Box. So each of you will pick 2 films. It'd be funny if we pick the same one, but I doubt it. So anyway, I just want to bring that up.
I have 2 already.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm gonna have to think about it. Mikey always knows what I'm talking about.
I'll pick, in case you guys already know, I'll pick a preliminary, an extra 3.
Okay, but don't tell each other what it is. We're gonna shock each other on the air.
Okay.
Because I want to get your live reaction. Like I know Necron has seen both. I'm pretty sure of it.
Okay.
Because if you're a geek in the 70s, 80s, you couldn't have missed these movies on cable or something.
It's possible on my end.
I will tell you this much: the second one I completely forgot about. I found it by accident today when I was doing drive-in research. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about that one, and it was something I saw on TV several times, but it just slips to memory, And so I'm pretty sure Necron here has to have heard of this. I has to have seen this film, and a really cool title too. You shouldn't forget a title like this, but you did. So anyway.
Okay, it has a rowdy title.
It's an awesome title. Just some badass. The title is about as metal as it gets. All right, it's pure metal. Okay, you shouldn't forget it, but you did.
We're gonna do some metal points over this.
Oh my God, I forgot him. Let's see if your metalhead friends remember it too.
Yeah, they always surprise with the knowledge sometimes.
Yeah. But I bet Retro has at least. I'm pretty sure I know which of the 2 she's seen. Because it was a lot on cable back in the 80s and 90s. I'm sure you've seen this one.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was on cable, I had to see them because that's all I used to do. Watch them damn movies.
And surprisingly,
HBO and all that was awesome.
Well, HBO, Cinemax, of course, or Skinemax in the middle of the night.
River's Edge, yeah, that's a good one too.
Me
and Francisco did that one as well. River's Edge.
And who is the guy that was in Back to the Future? The dad, what's his name?
The which one though?
In Back to the Future, the actor that was in there, like the one who played the young version of the dad. Actually, no, he played the dad.
The weirdo.
The weirdo. What's his name? Because he was in River's Edge.
Yeah.
People remember
It's on the
Keanu.
tip of my tongue. Come on.
Yeah. Retro, you remember who played a dad in Back to the Future?
Oh man, it's just
He had
skipping
one of the
me.
greatest appearances on David Letterman
Oh
show.
man.
Yeah, he did.
Crispin Glover. Thank
Yeah,
you.
there we
Glover.
go.
That's
There
it.
you go.
Right,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
I was like, I know this. I just talked about this a couple months ago. Yeah, Crispin Glover. He's a trip, man.
He is.
Yeah, Retro. If you ever want to get a good laugh, watch his appearances on the David Letterman show.
Oh yeah, I've
Freaking
seen them.
weirdo.
It's so interesting.
He's tripping out, man. Okay, I think we pretty much covered all the Sam Raimi we can cover here. Maybe if we're getting too late,
Just
you know.
one more before we go. One more for the road.
Sure.
I really like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
And I freaking forgot that.
I thought it was a strong film. Look, it almost made $1 billion. Okay, it was $155 million.
That's another one doesn't deserve all the criticism.
Oh yeah,
I don't think so.
You know why? Because people were expecting all those cameos that were never in the film. I think that's usually
were they in it and they got cut? Because it seems like they probably
they cut some stuff, but some stuff just wasn't.
It just wasn't happening.
It was cut from the script, and there was some misinformation that was going on. I really think Foggy was really trolling people. Trying to get us off the set, because some pretty reliable scoopers we all got it wrong. We all got it wrong, and I think there was some misinformation being thrown out there. But look, Deadpool 3 is gonna make up for that. It's gonna have all those cameos you wanted from Doctor Strange.
If it's not spoiled first,
it's not spoiled for this film.
Now tell me, is that not a freaking Sam Raimi?
Yeah.
That's Multiverse of Madness, and that's what bugged me about that one. But it's scary. It's scary. Do you realize Doctor Strange fights dark, occult, mythical demons and things like that? That's his main job, to fight dark magic.
That's exactly what he does,
chaos. Not to be the Avengers' friend all the time, but
this movie was just a China release away from going $1 billion. It was 50 million less when it hit $1 billion. It was so close, so close, So anyway, made a profit. It's a really good film. I think history will look back on it more fondly because the disappointment is over with the cameos. You sit there, you're watching a really good Sam Raimi movie.
You really are.
There's a lot of his tropes in the film, including that car. And he just put them in there as much as possible. But for some reason, a lot of people, I guess, I don't know what they were expecting, but maybe, I don't know what people were expecting for that.
Maybe a lot of people just weren't ready for a Sam Raimi Marvel movie yet.
Well, it made close to $1 billion, so obviously a lot of people.
Were.
Yeah, it was close.
It had. But
I think we lost him. What's up, Mikey?
It had great legs, but it kept going and going, and so
and also too, man. Let's be real. That whole alternate Earth that they landed on, that was great.
That was awesome. Great. Yeah,
man. You got the comic book Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Fantastic Four. I mean,
and did you know there's an R-rated cut of this film?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Well, I know that the director said that he was gonna be making that there is a director's cut. There is one.
Can you imagine how cool that one is?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever get it with Disney.
No, I know.
They got that parental lock though, now remember, so they can easily put that in there. And the Deadpool 3 is R-rated. So there you go.
That might open the door.
That might be the one.
Yeah.
Well, just gently, I'll mention. I think we did somebody mention it in the chat? The Great and Powerful Oz, 2000.
Which I've never seen. I've never seen that one. Is that one good?
A lot of people skipped it. Including yours truly.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
I haven't seen
it. Yeah.
I'm not a big Oz fan, so that's why.
I am, but it just didn't seem, it just didn't work for me. But I haven't seen it yet, so I do want to see it. It's something I do want to see.
I thought about this topic just right now, Retro. Polarizing 80s movies that are actually good. That's something to look into because you mentioned Oz. There was a film in '85 called Return to Oz.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's animated, right?
Which I never saw, but apparently there's a cult for that film. It bombed when it came out. It was very polarizing. They thought it was too dark, right? And so
it's definitely a darker take. It's not all singing, we're off to see the Wizard of Oz and all that. No, it was a pretty dark animated film, but it's been years since I've seen it because I saw it in the theaters back then.
I'm thinking of The Black Cauldron. You remember that?
Yeah.
But Tim Burton was involved in that. He got fired from that.
Oh.
I recall. Yeah. So, well, good stuff. Great show,
Fraser,
you guys.
If you asked a question earlier, if you want a guaranteed answer, you can send a super chat and we will answer it. But I don't remember your question. But sorry, bro. But if you super chat it next time, we will get to it. That's how I'm gonna grip on my channel. If you want it really answered,
there you go. Just
send it as a super chat. Yeah. And a bit, I think it was his question. Now I'm remembering right. Was the worst Sam Raimi movie? I don't even know.
Crime Wave. That's all I can think of.
That's what I heard. I heard people not speak so highly of that one.
Yeah.
That's... So that's the one you can watch. Fraser, go watch it right away.
I remember watching it on beta and it was not funny. That's all I remember. But it was talking like 40 years ago now.
I was asking Retro, what you playing a horror movie? What?
Would I play in a horror movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no way.
No way? Heck no, huh?
Nope.
Okay.
But if I was in a movie that was like maybe had some horror elements in it, okay.
You know, the irony of it all is that she's going to be in a horror comic. So.
Yeah. She may end up being in a horror movie one day. You never know.
You never know.
Right? That's funny. Yes, true, right?
Never say never, as they say.
Never say never.
That's funny. All right, man. This was a fun one.
It was a blast. Great show, guys.
I love when I love our topics, but I also love when we just kind of go off.
Yeah, we take a little side turn, right?
Yeah.
You know.
I love that crap.
We
and I love when the chat brings up something cool too.
We throw the GPS away and find our way back to the right road.
Back to our main highway.
Main highway. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Grogu.
You guys are all awesome. Thank you for all the support, guys.
Yes,
I would play a killer horror movie that kills people while listening to death metal.
Oh, wow.
Fun. There you go.
Yeah. Death killing stream. I don't know. All right, man. Thanks all. Thanks, Retro. Thanks, Mikey.
Yep. See you guys later.
All right. I'm gonna queue up the outros and we will be out on the other side.
Right.
I'll play a different one.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a great night. See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
I got so many photos I have to go through. All right. Let's play this one. This is a nice long one. All right. Bye.